I'm warning you.
All right. Thank you.
Next time, it's gonna be glass.
Now, thank you very much, Windlord. Thank you so much for that. I just got a notice here that we got the monthly report, so I just want to go over it real quick. A lot of things have been added to the monthly report. People were talking about how this has been one hell of an amazing month. And I agree. Not only has it been an amazing month, but it has also been an amazing year, a very understated year. A lot of people not talking about how much has been done this year. I mean, like, I don't see a lot of content creators talking about like how amazing Star Citizen's progress, the development this year has been, like light years ahead of what I'm accustomed to. Like really. The amount of progress made this year has been through the roof, and there has not been enough content creators out there talking about it, like really. So first, I would like to commend Cloud Imperium, Chris, for this year being just like phenomenal. I didn't expect it. Like I really didn't. So we've got the AI content. A lot of people much happier with AI. I still think there's a lot of work to go. Personally, there is. But throughout August, AI content supported level design, creating new worker behavior, enabled designers to apply traits to various AI archetypes, refining which usables they use, such as sitting, leaning, inspecting, and cooking. Getting a little tired of seeing them standing in the chairs. Preview began on 2 new products for a future delivery. The dealer behavior and pyro location usables. Dealer is a mobile vendor that players can buy from and sell to. That's awesome. NPC stores one-handed items on their person. Though if a player wants a two-handed item, they're guided to the dealer's shop nearby. The track view preview went through its second iteration, with the team currently building consensus with all different design teams. AA content identifying several usables to help sell Pyro's themes of sickness, greed, and poverty. The second pass was completed, which will be presented to the directors before the new usables begin production. The team also continue to develop hospital respawn experiences for 315. Now, we already know that. I'm very much looking towards the hospitals. I'm very much looking towards that kind of birth of the medical industry. We just saw it on Inside Star Citizen Review here about, we just finished the show and we saw cybernetics being introduced. I am very, very excited about what that's going to bring to the game. Them being true to the narrative of Death of a Spaceman is huge. I can tell you, everybody that's watching here tonight, everybody that's a hardcore Star Citizen fan is so happy at tonight's Inside Star Citizen episode. Them seeing cybernetics in the game is a huge step forward. It is so important to many people who are long-term, old-school, gangster Star Citizens that we got to see cybernetics in the game being designed, and Cloud Imperium and Chris staying true to the narrative of Death of a Spaceman. I can't tell you how important that is. And many of the people in here tonight would also agree with me. If you don't, you're fucking crazy. If you don't, you're playing the wrong game. Go play Elite Dangerous or something else. Go get cucked somewhere else, because there's no cucks here. AI tech improved the Pathfinder system to work with planetary navigation mesh tiles, enabling them to place NPCs on planets and move them from one location to another. They also started the work for generating planet navigation mesh automatically based on a player's proximity. That's great. This is just fantastic. One feature delivered this month allows the player to lead a formation of AI ships. So we're going to see formations. That's cool. This was initially requested for Squadron 42, but should be available in the PU in the future. Now, we saw certain formations when they brought out the law system initially, and the NPCs were reacting horribly, and we had lots of desync issues. Let's hope for a much smoother experience. Formations in-game by NPC that are solid and smooth are really important for that immersion. You absolutely need it. If you don't have it in the game, it's something to strive for so that you're not feeling like it's so alpha. Even though we are in alpha, right? That's the big joke because we've been doing this for so long. We still want to make sure that we have design that is giving us the type of gameplay that we want, even in the alpha. Because we've been around for a long time. And, you know, like our alpha is slightly different than other people's alphas. Let's be real. Let's be real. Significant effort was also directed at improving AI design paths and how NPCs follow them. As the design paths can be quite complex with multiple branches, they were updated to allow NPCs to follow them from any starting place. That's interesting. Work also continued on the subsumption editor, this time completing the multi-graph view. Okay. Animations. The animation team spent part of August focusing on vendors for illegal goods, food, drink, and other items, which involved creating animation videos showing how the assets should be used in Pyro. You see Pyro is being mentioned a lot here. This is great. I still think that we're going to see some version or form of surprise, some Easter egg of sorts for the digital Citizen Con that will show us like Pyro in a very, very big way. I don't think that they're just going to sit on Pyro till next year. I really think that Pyro is going to be something that they're like, surprise, bitches, here you go. Because it seems to me like it would just be so grandiose of a gesture that it's just right up Chris's alley. Like, it just seems to me like that's something that Chris would do, like push out so that they could at least give us some type of demonstration to see what it is that we're getting into. We've already seen glimpses of Pyro. I like the lava rivers. I like the lava lakes. I like what we're going to be getting with Pyro, the different fauna, some of the beasts, if you will, are very interesting looking. The team progressed with overall medical behavior. Let's see, hospital healing functions. We saw this on Inside Star Citizen. If you are wondering about that section, just go to the Inside Star Citizen review because we literally just talked about that like 10 minutes ago. Last month, character art completed a large batch of new assets for Alpha 3.15, including a heat-resistant heavy armor that will replace the Caldera Pembroke suit. We're all familiar with that. Should be very, very interesting to see like new suits dealing with heat and cold. I'm very interested in like the looks. I definitely like armors. I definitely like the aesthetic looks of a badass armor. Like I hope they do a good job at that. Teams also finalized several new backpacks, including 3 based on the Clark Defense System brand and 1 on Doomsday. They also reworked existing backpacks previously attached to armor cores to make them individual modular items. From Alpha 3.15 onwards, each new armor will come with a backpack in the same style. So now you're getting backpacks with these armors. That's really interesting. They're just going to make that like a normal thing. I agree. I think that's good. Art in regards to ships, UK yet to be announced ship originally mentioned earlier in the year was completed, with the team's final task of creating additional paints currently underway. I wonder what they're talking about there. Techno says, I wonder if we will get to harvest anything out of the lava. That would be badass. I do hope there's something involving lava, like some type of action that you can take involving like lava itself, like getting close to it, having to be near it, some type of dangerous element. That would be cool tech. Absolutely agree. I think that would be like really cool gameplay. Chris is Ghost Star saying that the backpacks are needed for physical inventory, so it just makes sense, I believe is what he's saying, to have backpacks with armor. So yes, Ghost Star, that's probably why they're going to make that a normal thing from this point on, moving forward from 3.15. Techno's like, hey, you need a goofy hot suit to get near this lava. The Redeemer is approaching final art. We talked about that on the Inside Star Citizen review. We like the changes. Work also commenced on the Mist Hall A, okay, which is close to being white box complete. Its larger sibling, the Hall C, is currently being brought up to gold standard. Oh man, there's a lot of hall owners that cannot wait. Do you see? Right? I know, like I smell it. I smell it through the screen. Oh my God. The Hall is a very highly anticipated ship that doesn't get enough talk. You know, The hall brings about its own type of like escort and economy that is needed just to transport the goods. Because I can tell you, in a hall, you are going to have so many interested people in halls, from security escorts to traders that are working the ship to pirates that are like, ooh, a hall. You are going to have so many people interested in the hall. Flying around, looking at a hall. I cannot wait to see a hall flying around in the game with all those cargo containers, man. I just can't wait. I just cannot wait for that. 2 announced vehicles continue to progress through the pipeline. One recently completed its gray box review, while the other is waiting its gray box review, though is close to having a finalized exterior. They're not telling us what those are. I think we were talking about earlier the Orion entering a phase of design. It's not anywhere close to being complete, but it was nice to hear about the Orion being started. I cannot wait to see the Orion in game. As a trader, pirate / miner, industrial player, man, like the Orion is just like a wet dream on all sides of the spectrum. Cannot wait for the Orion. The Crusader A2 Hercules passes final art review 2. That's great. That should have been out already. Like that I don't know what the holdup is there. That already needs to be on that. Shame on you, Cloud Imperium. Get that going. That should already be done. The cockpit habitation area, ladder passage, and cargo hold are all nearing gray box complete for the Drake Vulture. Drake Vulture is going to bring salvage gameplay to the mix, and that is going to be a nice little game changer. Just adding a touch of industrial goodness for people who need more than just the mining. The mining's great. Mining's very intensive compared to other space mining games. Like, the mining's pretty damn good. And I think that the salvage is going to be as good or even better. An all new vehicle is almost gray box complete. White art for the variant mentioned last month was finished. Audio. We got audio. Okay, great. Grimhex Hospital. New sounds for mechanisms. All to the mother of all bombs. I'm not quite familiar with what they're talking about there. The mechanism and explosion effects were also added to the mother of all bombs. Am I missing out on something? I'm not quite sure what's being referred to as the mother of all bombs. I'm not quite sure what they're referring to right there. Tech Sound Design helped implement the hacking system for the sound effects team, adding sounds alongside the usual support. The A2. Okay. Finally, prep for the CitizenCon 2951 continued. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Community. The community team supported the Star Citizen Alpha 3.1 with engaging contests. I have to say, what's up, Oz? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the after party. We're talking about the monthly report right now, buddy. It's so good to see you. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around for this thing. I know sometimes on these monthly reports, they can get a little bit lengthy, but I try and keep it interesting and relevant for you guys. And thanks for everybody sticking around. Please, questions, anything you guys have, like any comments, just type them in here so people can see as they watch the highlight. It's really fun. Like, like when people are watching these, I get comments all the time from people saying, oh, I saw Windlord talking about Moab design. I saw, Wolf answering your question about the mother of all bombs. And, like, this is why I love having like the chat right here and everybody's kind of like aware of what's going on. Absolutely love the fam, love the community. Keep it up, guys. You guys are doing wonderful. But like, speaking of what Cloud Imperium's doing for the community, I really like what they're doing. They're keeping it lively. They're keeping it fun. They're giving events to people, and I think they're doing a good job. So keep it up. Like, really, really good job, guys. Keep that end of that brings in more people, but also helps player retention. Player retention is very important. Keeping people playing is really, really important, especially even in the alpha mode. Players that wanted to invite friends to the verse claim a unique referral bonus could participate in the Wish You Were Here greeting card contest by creating a greeting card. The coloring contest that I wanted my kids to get into, I'm so sorry. I was talking to the Eradicator on this because Erad did a coloring design. Did you guys see Erad's coloring entry? Hilarious. My kids could draw. I don't know. Erad, what are you doing, man? My kids could color better than you, dude. What's going on? At least color in the lines, Erad. No, maybe it was abstract. I think he was going for a Pollock. I think like Erad was the Pollock of the coloring contest. But anyway, they're doing a wonderful job on the community. Yeah, right. The engine. In August, the physics team progressed with physical quantum travel in their development stream. They now have a proper quantum grid per solar system. That is actually very big news. And a quantum obstacle component that registers an analytical representation of an obstacle. Okay. Some to be sorted issues aside, and notice how they said that. That is one of those Jack in the Box statements right there. Like, there is so much to be said in that hyphenated mess of shortenedized words right there. Some to be sorted issues aside. Okay. Hey, Killian. Good night there in Germany. I know it's getting late. Thanks for staying and sticking around, and thanks for all the support on the channel, buddy. We appreciate you, man. It's really good to see Killian on stream. So anyway, they say they can now make the equivalent of a blind quantum jump and drop out before hitting a moon along the travel path. Interesting. They also continue to improve performance. Among other things, the destruction of static physical entities now runs time sliced with querying and processing parts of a physical entity during collision detection. That was improved. The physics system code cleanup continued too. For example, the physical world's time step function now makes individual phases of the time step clearer. I'm not quite sure exactly how. I would love to see what happened to the monthly reports where they had the videos in here. Did they stop doing that? Do you guys remember where they actually had the videos that showed exactly what they were discussing? That was a wonderful thing when they started putting those into the monthly reports. I really want them to bring that back. I really do. Regarding atmosphere and volumetric clouds, time was spent reworking the reprojection and filter change to ultimately allow ray marching. Do they mean ray marching or ray meshing? At lower resolutions for improved GPU performance. Improvements were made to the placement of samples for ray marching. Yeah, okay. This involved reprojecting results from previous frames, filtering and deionizing cloud depth, and upsampling in scatter and transmittance results to full resolution for various problematic view scenarios. Say that 10 times fast, can you? Can you say that 10 times fast? Because I can't. I could barely say it 1 time fast. So anyway, we're getting into the nitty gritty. We're getting into some pretty interesting engine changes here. It looks like they've done quite a bit. On the core engine side, time was spent optimizing the low-level system. For example, various improvements were made to SIG function, which serves as a vehicle to capture and pass C++ lambdas. In this particular case, code and data for deferred asynchronous execution is a job. The next focus was optimizing the entity unloading stalls plaguing the PU. That's cool. As a result, several entity unload bottlenecks were rectified. Furthermore, there's a hell of a lot more that do need to be rectified, though. Lots of rectifying needing to happen. Furthermore, the management of component events was optimized and code to create and destroy them improved. Okay, we got features and character weapons, feature gameplay. I'm going to put the rest down below here. My mouth is getting very, very tired. And your ears most likely as well. But as we scroll down here, as you see, I love the depth of these monthly reports. I still think that they need to go ahead and put in some videos like they used to. And that is very important to me. Ryu is saying, read Turbulent section, DG, do it. And I will. So let's do it. Turbulent web platform. Now, Turbulent being the team now up in Canada, and they're getting a lot done and responsible for a lot of the system design. And by that, I mean like the actual systems in the verse. It says both of Turbulent's web teams worked on technical projects to add new capabilities to engineering platform. E-commerce is working on a new database indexing solutions to give the team new capabilities to efficiently search for and create new content. What? This is primarily for the pledge store, but will also help to create new pages that don't hinder the site's performance. The architectures team is working on a system to improve the way information passes between their various services. This will improve existing systems, enable the team to hit the ground running on new microservices that interact with other elements on the platform. They worked on server meshing, says Ryu. Interesting. The vehicle tech team put the finishing touches on the radar scanning and ping refactor for the vehicles. We saw that. And then just above, let's read Turbulent Services. Here we go. This is what he wants me to read, not the web platform. I was like, okay, great. So they've upgraded the way they're taking money in. How amazing is that, Ryu? Like, what are you talking about? Okay, here we go. Turbulent Services, way up top. Turbulent's Live Tools team completed the base framework for new windowing layout and hex, along with some of the core functionality. They also supported the PU locations with MightBridge tool. Oh, working alongside members of the QA and publishing teams, improvements were made to the crash handling pipeline, refining deduplication for Sentry crashes. The game services team achieved key milestones in the server meshing project. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. The game services team achieved key milestones in the server meshing project. Very important sentence right there. Very important. But how key were they? This needs to be much more in depth. I want a whole video. I want a whole video on that. I want a whole in-depth video on what is being said here that Ryu pointed out to me. The game services team achieved key milestones, okay, in the server meshing project, delivering the first version of the new matchmaking system. Yeah, they intentionally kept it ambiguous. The service communicating with the new database now has all the required main features too, and several optimizations were made. Okay, that's not enough. That's tickling me. You know what I mean? That's just tickling me, Ryu. All that's doing is just tickling me right now. I don't know how to feel about that. That is such a tease. That is like the teasiest statement. Those sentences right there. those two sentences right there are just teasing me so bad right now. What is it? Can we have something more, please? Can we please have something more on that? Oh my God. Thank you for pointing that out, Ryu. Thank you for pointing that out, dude. Sometimes people need to beat me over the head and be like, DG, look at this. And then I'm like, what? Yeah, No Spot is definitely engaged from that. But I would say half engagement, Trip Out, because, when it's a tickle, I need a little bit more, right? I need a little bit more than a tickle to get me going. You got to do a little bit more. You got to massage a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? All right. So there's the monthly report. I would highly recommend a little bit more videos like you guys used to do, Cloud Imperium. But like I said, a very nice monthly report and an amazing year. Now, let's get to the next video. Razor, have a good night. We're going to miss you, buddy. Thank you for that support. I see Razor there. He's going to be in the credits tonight when the credits roll. And it's time to wrap up the show. Razor will be in the credits because he supported the show. God bless you, Razor. Thank you, Explodo. Holy God. It's a good way.
Yeah,
it's a good
baby.
way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's up, Anarchy? What's up? I love when action happens on the channel. I love it. I love the alerts. It was a while. We were in depth in this. We were very in depth in this. I love the action. Thank you very, very much for all this wonderful, beautiful. Oh,
King, your king. Glory sing. I'm warning you.
it's a random chain of DG events. Action.
Next time it's gonna be glass.
I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness, Jay. Exploder, Razor, Anarchy. Look at you guys.
Next time it's gonna be glass.
very much appreciated, guys. I love it. I love these guys. I love what they do for this community. You guys are always throwing down. That's how the DG Army gets bigger. That's how we dominate. That's how we take over the internet. That is how it is done, ladies and gentlemen. Pepe, let's keep the party going, buddy.